Hey guys, it's Pat, Joatmon57, and I'm here to announce I'm getting ready to launch my own YouTube channel. Yeah, I know what you're saying is great, another YouTube channel. There's only like 700 bazillion different YouTube channels out there. Well, now there's another one. And I'm not here to tell you what the channel's going to be about, but what I'm going to tell you what it's not going to be about. I'm not going to be political. I'm not going to be bashing one political party, another political party. I'm not going to be following the trends of the day. I'm not going to be chasing celebrities. But what I am going to do is I want to talk about some stuff that I think is really important right now. And right now I want to talk to those of us that are about 40 years old and older. You know, you 20-somethings can listen. You guys in your late 30s, you might want to pay attention to this. But basically what I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk about retirement issues. Because when I grew up, you know, I had the standard, you know, go to school, get a good job, you know, work hard, you know, at the end of 30, 40 years, you know, you're going to get to go watching the pension, you know, and you're going to get to retire. Well, the problem is I ended up retiring a little bit earlier than I had anticipated because of some back issues and stuff. And yeah, I was making okay money. I mean, the money that was coming in was enough to keep the bills paid. My house was paid for, my car was paid for, all my bills were paid for. The problem is, as time goes on, you get sick of sitting in the house. You get sick of not having the money to go do something. Well, the issue is you hear it time and time again. Now, before we go too far into this, yes, I am the president, owner, CEO, chief cook and bottle washer of Joatmon57, which is a business specialist business. We help people that are looking to improve their businesses with business education. So yeah, there is going to be some selling that's going to be on this, a part of this channel, but that's not the main issue. The main issue is I'm out here to try to help people. I'm out here to try to get people to wake up to see what's going on. You know, day in and day out, for at least, God, as long as I can remember, at least the last 30 years, I have heard time and time again, you know, by the time you get to be that age, Social Security's going to be gone, Medicaid's going, Medi-Cal, Medicare, all that stuff is going to be broke. And the bottom line is it's happening. It's happening today. You know, when I retired a few years ago, because of being a government employee, I got a stipend, if you will, a percentage of the years that I worked towards my insurance benefits. And I've still got the private insurance that I had when I was working. But what was a very, very minor cost for me when I first retired is now a huge chunk of change every single month out of my paycheck. I mean, and everybody's getting hit with it. You hear people constantly talking about having to pay, you know, ridiculous sums of money just so they and their families have insurance. Well, I wish I had an answer to tell you how we could roll this back, how we could stop that, how we could make sure that when you get to that 62 years, your Social Security is going to be there. But I don't have that. I don't have the magic pill. You know, sometimes I wish that I was Morpheus in the Matrix, where I could just say, take the blue pill and take the red pill. And in a way, I kind of am. Because what I'm going to do is we're going to discuss different options, different ways for people to pad their retirement, if you will. Because the bottom line is, if you're 40 years and above, if you're looking at 10 to 15 years before, you know, or 20, even 20 years, and you're getting ready to retire, because at 40 years old, you should be serious about, okay, it's time to start thinking about retirement. But if you're like me at 40 years old, you know, you had stuff going on. You know, your discretionary income basically got down to the money that you got to use to go out to dinner a couple of times a month. Because the rest of it was going for mortgages and car payments and car insurance and taxes and the rest of the crap that goes along with, you know, being an adult and being in this world. So to tell you, well, what you need to do is take a portion of your check and you need to start investing. Okay, well, what do? Do we put it in the stock market? We saw how well that worked for a lot of people back in 2008 with the crash. So there's got to be other things out there. So what I'm going to be doing over the next few months is I'll be exploring a lot of different ways. I'll be researching it. I'm going to seminars. As a matter of fact, I just got a flyer today. I'll be going to a Social Security seminar here in a couple weeks that talked about when you should file for your benefits, when, the pluses and the minuses of filing early versus filing late versus filing single or filing as a couple. So these are all things that I think are on people's minds. They're sitting back and they're going, well, you know what? I'm living a kind of a comfortable existence right now. Or maybe you're not. Maybe you're one of those guys that's just going, holy crap, I got to wait till next payday before I got enough money to put gas in my car. Maybe you're one of those guys that's driving, a 7 or 8 or 9-year-old car simply because it's paid off and the insurance and the registration's a little cheaper on that than if you bought a brand new car. So what we're going to do is we're going to explore these issues, okay? My only request is if I say something or do something that kind of pisses you off, feel free to make a comment below and just say, hey, look, I disagree with you. But let's start this off by agreeing to disagree without becoming disagreeable. I won't call you names, don't call me names. And I'm going to ask that from everybody that gets involved with this forum. If you have a disagreement, if you disagree, if you think you have a better idea, feel free to put it in the comments. We'll research it, we'll check it out. But along with this, we're going to do some book reports, maybe even talk about some movies that are coming up. But honestly, if you're over 40 years old, this is something that has to be on your mind, especially if you're married and you have a family. Because God forbid you should get to 62, 65 years old and you don't have anything in the bank. Because you know what? It's only going to get worse from here, and your kids are going to have a tougher struggle than you do right now. Because I'm telling you what, even though I made a lot more money than my dad did, my struggles are more because the cost of living is more than when my dad was alive. So for right now, I just want to welcome you to my channel. I'm going to try to put up at least one video every day, if not every day, at least a couple, 3 times a week. And we're just going to talk about some issues. We're going to talk about, the way we look at things. We're going to talk about some authors and some of the financial pundits out there and the gurus that are talking about different things. But if you really take the time to listen to them, they're really going to kind of open your mind to what's going on. So that's all it is I just want people to open their eyes and see what's going on. Going to end with this. It is not futile. We're not going to be Heaven's Gate. We're not going to do a David Koresh or, Jonestown and say, oh my God, it's the end of the world and we're going to kill ourselves over it. No, what we're going to do is we're going to get educated. We're going to get smarter and we're going to plan accordingly. There are ways that we can overcome this deficit without having to go to work for Walmart or go to work for one of the fast food restaurants. Because basically, you're not retiring then. What you're doing is you're changing one job location for another job location. And the second job location is usually a lot less money. Unless you're one of those guys who was a professional when you were alive, and then you can turn that into some kind of consulting business. But then again, you're only getting paid for the hours you're putting in. So what we're going to do is we're going to explore some ways to generate some income that will still give us the ability to go out and live the life that we want to live. So until next time, guys, hey, thanks a lot. Don't forget to like the channel. And if you have any comments, good, bad, or indifferent, just don't get insulting. If you got a bad comment, feel free to knock it down there, man. Because that's how we learn. That's how I'm going to get better, and that's how I'm going to deliver the things that you guys really want to hear. All right, so until then, ciao, baby.